Alright guys, so this will be my review of a model that I do not know the manufacturer of, and actually where I bought it from, they don't know the manufacturer of. But this is the KoneCranes SMV 45 1200, and I believe the 6 means a Series 6. It is a 1/50th scale forklift. I questioned it when I received it because it was so large, but I looked up 45-ton forklifts and they are pretty large, and this model right here is based off one of those mobile container cranes that has wheels and, you know, drives around a port. So I'm assuming it is correct size, or that's at least what I'm hoping. Anyway, aren't too many 1/50th scale forklifts on the model, so when I seen this one, I had to pick it up. I will be honest with you though, I thought I would have more use for it, but quite frankly, pretty much all it does is sit in on your shelves or in a yard if you have a diorama or something. But I will tell you one thing, it would be fantastic in stop motions. But unfortunately, I don't make stop motions. Anyway, let's get this started. I'll start off where everybody's probably wanting me to start off, which is the front. And I'll have to turn the model for that. And looking at the front of it, you could see there are 2 cylinders there. And you're probably wondering what those cylinders do or what they're for. The reason why they're there, and they really don't have to be there, but I guess they're there more for show, is that they slide the forks in. And I'll actually zoom out because it'll probably be hard to see, but when you slide the forks in, they're there, and they actually do work. Like I said, they really don't have to be there because all the force is being pushed down, not like pulled to the side, whatever, but they're there and they look pretty well, and I'm glad that they're there because they add more realism to the model. The forks themselves and the boom behind it and the mount for the forks are all metal, which surprises me. When I got this model, I thought it would be a lot worse than what it is, because it is actually pretty nice. The odd thing about the forks is when you go to slide them up, there is a point where you could take them off, and I don't know why they're like that. Maybe they have other attachments for them or something, but you could take them completely off. It does look pretty cool like that. Maybe it's the transporter. I honestly really don't know, but there's what it looks like off, and here are the forks when they're off. And the way how I realized that was because I was moving them and they just fell off, but there are tabs for them to come off, and you just put them back on like that. So I figured I'd point that out. Another thing, and I'll have to turn the forklift to the side, is you can see the forks raise, and then the second part of, I would assume you call that the boom, also raises. And it actually goes pretty high. The bad thing is when you do put it this high with a load and you don't have them pushed back all the way, because they do go back that far, and even if they are back that far and you put a load on them, the cylinders will fail and fall all the way forward, which is an easy fix, but for some reason I just don't like to modify my models. I like to keep them stock, and for that reason they really don't hold that well. Maybe it's just my model, maybe some are better, maybe some are worse. Another cool thing is that when you do raise them, there is actually a cylinder right there, which I'm almost positive we wouldn't see that from other manufacturers, because there's not really no need for it, but I'm almost positive that it's just not necessary for other manufacturers to put that there. So it is nice to even see that there. The front tires, you could see, are dualies, meaning that there are 2, and they actually look really nice. Even though they are that type of hard rubber, at least they're not like a gloss like a Northscott tire. Rims are also pretty detailed as well. You can see the lug nuts, and you can see there are warning labels right there, and the fender right there. And behind the fender, up top, you can see some warning stripes. There is a light here and a mirror there, which is also really cool. And all this is metal, along with the arms on the forklift. What is not metal are the steps over here, the diamond plate here. I don't know if that is, I mean, I've tried to figure it out. I don't want to cut it or anything, but I'm assuming it's metal. And the exhaust here is pretty loose. But what they could have done better, and this is probably my only complaint on the model, and maybe the thing with the forks, is made these a little bit smaller, because you could tell that they are pretty large, and the railing's pretty large as well. But you know, for a limited amount of these type of machines on the market, you really can't complain. But the nice thing is that this is all diamond plate, which is also really cool. So the cab itself, you could actually see in it very well, and it is fairly detailed. For some reason, everybody always likes a detailed cab, even though you could barely see into some models. But this one is actually pretty nice. The windshield wiper up top, or the overhead wiper, whatever you want to call it, is pretty oversized, and it really kind of looks terrible. That's just my opinion. And the one on the front window looks pretty bad as well. But what are you going to do? There is a beacon up top here. You can see the air conditioner on the back. And you could also see the side of the cab over here. One thing you might want to watch out for are these mirrors, because I glued mine back right here. The glue is even still drying. Right side of it also is pretty cool. It's pretty much exactly the same as the other side. The air intake is right there along with the exhaust, and here is the right side rear of the machine. And now I will just go over the exhaust real quick. The exhaust, I believe, is plastic. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes if it is metal or plastic, but I'm assuming that it is plastic. And if we go to the back of the machine, which is possibly one of my favorite parts, because it really looks like a back of a counterweight, where it's, you know, there's really not much to it except a flat piece of metal. Axle on the back does turn. It turns alright. It looks better than what it actually is because the machine is so long, but it's still really nice. You can see there are tie down points or even lifting lugs right here, and they're big and they look really cool. And on the back you could kind of make out these little lights here, and right there I guess that's the C in the Cranes logo. And that's pretty much it for this model. Unfortunately, I am going to let it go because, well, if you are new here, I am selling most of my collection. It's something that I have kept until now, which is around 40 days after, and most of everything is gone. But I will be honest with you guys, if I can get a lot of money for this model, I will sell it. Reason being is because I'm really not doing much with it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, as a review of the model, you know, I kind of let you know my thoughts on it, and my honest thoughts on it is, as nice as it is, there was really not much to do with it. But if you could find much to do with it, it's definitely a must-have. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review, and it will probably be sold by the time I make this video, so please don't ask. If it's not sold, the link will be in the description. So, thank you, and have a good one.